Hello everyone and welcome back to ESL Challenger League Season 48 EU. Yes, very excited to be here back on the cast and of course joined by the wonderful Grimmy Rana or Freddy. How are you doing this evening?
What's up? I'm not doing too bad. I had a pretty lengthy NA cast last night, so I got my Z's and now pretty excited because we're out of the group stages and we're through to not the playoffs, I guess, stage 2 it would be of the quite lengthy season this can be. But I'm gonna throw it right back at you. How are you doing today?
You know, got a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little bit odd, that would be why. But aside from that, doing pretty good. I don't have a sore throat anymore, so I am in fit fighting shape to take us through this match with you as the evening progresses. But before we jump into that, you mentioned that we are out of the group stages, and yes, for those who might not be aware, Challenger League very recently started a new format. I say recently, it's in the last season or so, but it's a cool new format and it gives a lot of opportunities, but it also means that there's a lot of danger on the line. So we came through our group stage and it brought us into group stage 2. You have your high group with your top performers, your mid group with your, mid performers, and your low group. And of course, the stakes here for those in the low group is if you are in 7th or 8th position, you go all the way back to ESEA Advanced. You do not go to relegation, do not pass begin, do not collect 200. So their lives are on the line, fighting it out there. But for us, we're going to be chilling in the mid group here. And of course, if you finish 3rd to 8th, you get to stay in Challenger League. But if you can come 1st or 2nd in this group, you get to go through to the playoff bracket, lower bracket, but at least you'll be there.
Yeah, I think and so for the teams that we're casting today, we're over in Group Mid. We are in the upper semi-finals, and so one team is only 2 best of 3s from making it to the lower bracket in the playoffs. And even though it is lengthy, it is 6 best of 3s if you want to win out ESL Challenger, if you do qualify into lower bracket round 1. But that's exactly what Sangal did last season. They made it through from basically this mid-seed group, and they went through to the lower bracket, and they just won every single best of 3. So even though it's an absolute slog and a grind, it can pay off.
Absolutely. And of course, these teams, they have been on this grind for some time. They're not under with it. So of course, they're going to be bringing their A games today. And hopefully one of these 2 teams can make it through to that next and decider best of 3. But of course, it's not the end of the world if you do lose here today. You can go down to the lower bracket, get an opportunity at a redemption run. It's a little bit more CS that needs to be played. It's a little bit more on your shoulders, but it's absolutely doable. And of course, for today's matchup, we're going to have 9Pandas versus Sinners. And this, I think, is going to be an incredibly exciting one. Our bracket has been shaping up very, very nicely so far. But these are the teams that are coming up against each other today. Freddie, what are we expecting?
What are we expecting? Some really exciting Counter-Strike, because Sinners, they actually came 3rd last season in ESL Challenger. They went pretty flawless all the way through till the upper bracket final in the playoffs, whereby they lost to Koi and then lost to Sangal, who were ultimately the victors. They honestly had a pretty fantastic season. They topped their group last season. However, coming into this season, they've had a fair bit of roster changes. They've kind of at the end of last season of just Counter-Strike, not Challenger, they kind of went through these very awkward roster changes where they were like trialing people and officials, and they have placed themselves on Mikey from the academy team, and then Marisco, who brings in a little bit more experience actually compared to Mikey. He's had his time in kind of like the regional teams such as Entropic and Enterprise, and then 9Pandas, who have recently changed their IGL because C stepped down, and they have had some really good form from that change.
And of course, when you look at so that's looking at the individual teams, but these 2 teams have actually played up against each other quite a few times over the course of their lives, over the course of the last couple of years, last maybe year or so, actually. Yeah, 5th of August 23 was the first time they played up against each other, and they've played against each other a few times since then, and it's been a little bit of a rivalry. Sinners have had 7 map wins, 9Pandas 6, but overall series wins also a little bit back and forth there. Sinners seem to have eked it out just that little bit, but that was in the beginning. Last 2 times they came up against each Oceania, it was 9Pandas who managed to snag that way. So I'm gonna ask you, Freddie, who do you think is going to come out on top of this particular matchup today?
Even though both teams are in great form and probably 9Pandas are in better form, I'm gonna stick with Sinners. I'm going with Sinners for my prediction. I just really like Beastick. I really like him as an IGL. I've always been very fond of him. I've always been very fond of Oscar as well. Like, it's a marvel that man is still just so consistent with the AWP. Apparently he's very vocal as well. That was the reason for for when Forzy was replaced way back, like, God, it must have been like years now. I can't even remember how long I did that interview, but it was basically like bringing Oscar back in because of how vocal he was, and alongside the fact that he can shoot quite hard. But you're going for 9Pandas to once again kind of shake it all up.
I'm 2 for 2 currently, so we'll see if I can make that 3 for 3. We know how I feel about recency bias. While you guys mull over who you think is going to take this one away, we'll take a look at our schedule for today. And it is of course, it's a rather quiet day here at Challenger League. Only one best of 3 per stream. So here on our C stream, we're going to have 9Pandas versus Sinners. And over on the D stream, you can go and check out Zero Tenacity versus 3D Max. And that is also a really interesting matchup because it's the lower bracket of the high group. So whoever loses there, they're out of the group, they're out of contention for playoffs. Bit of a rough situation to be in, but of course whoever wins, they get a second lifeline. So if you're interested in those kind of stakes, you can go check them out. Otherwise, stick around here. I think we have the better games, so I think this is the place to be. And again, we were looking at our bracket a little bit earlier on, and I think that it has shaped up quite nicely. It's starting to show a lot of strong competition, and we'll throw that up on our screen in just a minute for you guys so that you can have a look at how our bracket is going as well. And Freddie, while we wait for that, were there any big surprises so far? We're still kind of early doors, but has there been anything that stood out?
I think a big surprise, so this is the mid group. Let's start with the mid group. I guess Paravision Monty is a pretty big, difficult matchup. Monty, obviously, they're really struggling with where they want to poise themselves. They've gone full Polish now, which is something in itself. I think Rush B have kind of always impressed. Notta is like fantastic. He's a really good player. I guess Paravision, their form is somewhat surprised me. I think that medium seed, we've got the 9Pandas and Sinners team who have both beaten like very respectable teams. Like having Bait in the medium seed group, lower bracket in round 1, facing up against Koi, like that's an insane matchup to be having, and it really shows the depth of the competition. And that same theme goes over to the high seed group where you have Sashi Aurora, Zero Tenacity 3 Max. Like that's your lower round game. Like that's a really impressive, like the fact that your lower bracket is like insane. And then I think Namiga, the fact that they have still really performed without Flammus, not only in this tournament, but in kind of like any tournament, has really surprised me. I think Xanta has been playing lights out Counter-Strike, and also how well TSM have done. I think I've seen them struggle a lot outside of this tournament, but in this tournament they've been doing fantastic, and the fact that they 2-0'd Aurora are in the upper bracket semi-finals in the high seed group against Saw kind of emulates all of that.
Well, I've also just noticed that in our medium seed group, one of our matches started a little while ago, about 2 hours ago. Oh, yeah. It just finished at a 25-23 scoreline in favor of Arc Red, who's playing against Monty. So that's wild. There you go. There's the excitement in the bracket. If you wanted to look anywhere, that's where it is. But let's refocus up. We've spoken at broad length. Now let's take a look at our veto for today's matchup. Freddie, is there anything here that kind of stands out to you?
Don't think so, potentially. 9Pandas, like we were kind of talking about the recency bias. The most, I guess, the prominent one is the fact that they qualified for Bet Boom Dasher. And I think like Nuke has been a very big part of the reason why they've been doing so well recently, so that's not a big surprise for them. Inferno, it's kind of always been the main pick for Sinners. The interesting part is that both teams insta-bans of Vertigo, and I didn't actually get... So Sinners banned Ancient, so they've... And 9Pandas didn't float it, they instantly were just like, let's get out of that. Ancient being banned out, I guess it's just like kind of a counter pick to 9Pandas, who have equally been on very good form recently on that map. So kind of like making, okay, we know they're going to pick into either Ancient or Nuke. Let's just make it so that it's not going to be it's not going to be Ancient. But Xiaofi, player to watch. I was mentioning 9Pandas. I was talking about their change of IGL. Xiaofi, who previously played under Jerry in Forza, took up the IGLing role after Jerry left in Forza. He played under the kind of renowned IGL for years, replacing a very big figure in 9Pandas and Seized, and he seems to be doing very well with it. And I think that's kind of the reason why I've chosen him as the player to watch. He's really impressed me. I've seen this guy for a long time, and the fact that he's kind of reinvented himself and put himself as his IGL, it's honestly something that's really impressive.
Well, we look forward to seeing what he's capable of today. Our player to watch the last few times has been... I think we chose the same one because we had the same team twice in a row, and it was a little bit underwhelming, unfortunately. So hopefully today our player to watch really kind of stands out and does some phenomenal things. And just so we were talking about the veto a moment ago, and what I also found interesting about that Ancient ban was the fact that the last time it was played, Sinners did win it at a 13-10. A little bit too close for comfort. But, of course, that's not going to be on our cards for today. We're going to be jumping straight into our very, very first map of this matchup. It is going to be Inferno. It's tried, it's tested, it's familiar ground. 9Pandas versus Sinners in the upper bracket of the mid group, fighting for their, well, not their tournament lives, but fighting for a slightly easier run to that playoff spot.
It's just the same thing where, like, if they do end up going down to that lower bracket, like, it's a very long way to then make it through to playoffs. So they're certainly vying for a win here, and then that means that only one best of three from making playoffs. This is definitely probably one of the harder matchups they're going to have in this mid-seed group. Whoever wins this will play against the winners of Parry Vision versus Rush B in the upper final. Whoever wins that instantly goes through the playoffs. Whoever loses that has one more chance in the consolidation final, where, well, teams are brewing. Now, Sinners on the T side of their map pick, storming towards the B bomb site. Glowing, though. First good frag. He's going to stop this push, and Sinners, that was a bit messy. The one smoke basically cancels everything out, and now they're trying to lean onto Oscar's lurk on the A bomb site and see if they can crunch onto here.
And of course, no rotations were pulled over really to speak of, but oh, they don't check him. First kill to come through. B-Stick follows it up perfectly. Down to a 3 versus 3. It was winnable, but Klax playing this pit position so well gets that first kill. He's going to get overrun here, and it's not going to be long for this world. Bomb to get planted. And now we're in a retake. 9Pandas have to isolate these last two players. Know that one was last seen pit. Know the other is on site. Mariska, great shot to come through there. Bit of jump spotting to see where Glowing is. He hasn't been spotted just yet. Makes a little bit of noise. Spams onto pit. Can't quite connect to anything. We're playing a bit of hide and seek here. They know that Glowing can't make this happen. Double up, swing it up, and Glowing goes down. And it's a first round in Sinner's favor.
I'm not quite sure how they won that pistol round. 3 versus 5, and they leaned onto the fact that Oscar had this advanced position up in long. And I think what benefits them so greatly is that he's able to firstly identify that the players are on site, in pit, and also catch off that rotation. It kind of just spirals 9Pandas. So Sinners, you know what? A win is a win. They're going to succeed early on Inferno, and every time I see Glowing with a USP, it actually reminds me, I've probably hit one of my best clips ever against Glowing in Face It, on a USP round. Just, I was on Ancient, I was tucked in Cubby, and it's just like, just tapped 4 players coming out coming out Jaguar, and then 1 tap Glowing. It was, you know, I peaked in CS right there.
Humble, not so humble brag.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of the best clips of all time.
Well, 9Pandas went for a little bit of a gamble over towards A. 1 player over on B, completely overrun. And I don't think there's a world in which they actually push this. They've invested quite heavily into this round. perhaps erroneously. And I think the best bet here is to just hold on to the little bit of weaponry that they do have available. Sinners, however, looking for blood, looking to try and keep this as expensive as possible. Oscar's going to be good for 1. And we can actually see Mikey going on a exploratory mission here with the MAC-10. He just wants to keep things spicy. Not going to walk into anything, however. And that's a pretty simple round for Sinners to walk away from, as expected. And I think 9Pandas make the right call there. Hold on to the little bit of weaponry you have, because next round, money is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you play 1B, 4A, they go B, you probably lose the round. You try and constantly cycle those smokes, but instead, he gets kind of overrun quite early on. And yeah, you just save everyone up. You don't really go for the retake, you accept your losses, and then you don't have to repurchase the next round where you're going to have an eco, but you're still going to have a bit of danger. And Sinners, I don't hate the fact that they do maybe hunt a little bit, just minimizing the danger for this third round. They do very well to keep all 5 players alive, and now they're going to try and hopefully emulate that same success on round 3.
Obviously going for a slightly more standard split here. Oh! All those nades. Doesn't get the kill, but Mariska is dangerously low now. And immediately 9Pandas just going to head on over to B. We're going to change where the gamble is. And it's interesting because all of that util coming from A, it's to kind of feign presence. Kind of force Sinners to take that bananas position. Banana. It seems they've opted to do just that, but with no aggression coming from A, they're probably going to realize very quickly that, yes, it's a stack! Oh, Marisco! That's an unfortunate way to end your life. Now the aggression comes through from 9Pandas, and they are trading! They're trading very, very well, down to 2 versus 2. One more in the back pocket. Mikey, last one left alive, other side of the map, has to recover the bomb. The last 2 9Pandas players hiding in the smoke. Jump up is heard, and the shots connect. Now 1 versus 1, straight through the smoke, but it's Mikey with a USPS to bring it home. Dangerously close, but 9Pandas just can't make it happen.
Thank God Glowing didn't have head armor there. Thank God. I think Mikey was trying to pick up a rifle behind him, so... Oh, that was ropey. That was a round where it should never have got that close, and both teams are happy with the result. You know, Oceania just being like, oh my God, thank God we won that round. And then 9Pandas are like, good guys, good damage. So you have kind of positive reactions in some sense on both sides. Oscar with the AWP out. Similarly, so is Idis Balance. This is going to be a big AWP head-to-head duel throughout the whole of this game. And Idis Balance, he's seemingly taken the first fight. Wait, what? He doesn't even hit... Wait, what? He doesn't get
straight through the legs.
Oh my God. I thought he would have at least hit the player behind him. But Mikey gets a very aggressive and assertive opening kill. Now, rotations flooding towards us a bomb site. And Sinners, they are committing. Glowing. A swing and a miss on long. Very lackadaisical from him. No utility to help him, even though there was a flashbang that Klax could have thrown and paired. Oh, this B-Rap almost gets shot down. Marisco needs to be careful because the bomb on his back. Dilladez hunting for him, and Dilladez drops it. B-Stick, Oscar, sporadic apart from each other, and Klax trying to clear out top brackets. False sense of security, though, because he doesn't realize that B-Stick is tucked around on that corner, and Oscar just holding for the line in CT. B-Stick, he has an opportunity to move, but he's going to have to really find the timing because Klax, you can see, ever so aware.
And they realize they've got a little bit of time here up, but now they know where one of those players are. They know they can move away from it. The AWP gets taken out. Dilladez, a clean shot there. B-Stick, position already known, and as he comes around the corner, he gets taken out. That was a great round from Sinners. I love the aggression. I love the bait play. The fact that the shot misses entirely between the legs, and that allows that first kill to come through. Stunning round from 9Pandas. Well, from Sinners, but 9Pandas do really well to bring it back.
Money now.
Yeah, I was about to say pistols.
Money now in a very weird position. You've got single loss bonus. Sorry, yeah. Well, it would normally be areas for double eco, but when you kind of sit around the like 2.5 to 3 mark, you can get away with ecoing this round and still having a purchase in the next, especially on the T side. But 9Pandas in a good position with Idis Balance now getting on the board, not dying early. But Sinners, that was a 5 versus 3, and They keep one player long, probably unnecessarily. They aren't able to wrap effectively towards the B bomb site. The bomb kind of gets left high and dry. A little bit slow movements from the likes of B stick, but not slow in this round. That was a shot and a half. But yeah, a very poor round from Sinners, even though they had such a severe advantage.
Well, the Deagles are absolutely showing up here already. Okay, it was 3 versus 3, down to 3v2 here. Shock's managed to grab himself an AK from somewhere, pick that up off of somebody. Bomb is in a pretty dangerous position here, particularly because Oscar is about to get flanked on. No, Glowing turns around. Oscar gets a shot, but the Glowing knows exactly where he is. He knows that he can push it, and the MP9 will reign supreme. However, Shock, a great swing from him to trade it off. Ooh, breaks his legs a little bit there, but he'll be okay with that. He'll be able to retrieve the bomb. Will he?
Yeah, good smoke.
Yeah. Good wraparound from Dilladez, though. He's just going to wait for Shock. Shock has no idea, and he's gone. Ah, another recovery. I say recovery. I mean, this time around, 9Pandas with a beautiful opener, and it shouldn't have been that close. It's another round where the ecos get way more value than they should have.
Yeah, I mean, Oscar just, I think it was Xiaofi on long. You have Oscar tucked in the exact same corner that B-Stick was in the previous round, and he hears the opposition's leader running away, trying to fight into apps, and he just takes advantage of it. Really nice trading towards the end, and Sinners very happy with 4 kills there. It's been a very, very back and forth contentious half so far. We're only on round 6, and both teams with a purchase, no AWP out for 9Pandas, and it's looking like a fast B play. Glowing naded by his teammate, but still gets the opening kill. Morisco does trade out, and honestly, the fact that Glowing even gets 1 there on 21 HP is really impressive, but the grenades blowing Xiaofi and Dilladez to smithereens. 9Pandas, though, still remain in control of top banana for now. Xiaofi, what? How does he get away from that? Oscar in a perfect position, but misses the AWP shot.
Oh, this is starting to look a little bit dangerous for Sinners, and the amount of chip damage that came through from the util was fantastic. Good trade there from Mikey. But it's still very unfavorable. They're still very split. The bomb's still in spawn. They've lost yet another one. And Shock, everything to do here. Mighty not in the best spot. Start to wonder what the plan is here. And I think the only thing he really can do is maybe get an exit if he can. Probably just try and hold on to the weapon. There's a lot of time to play with, so there is potential to get an exit or two if things just work out perfectly in his favor. But no, he picks up the AWP. Nice shot to connect there. There's no way he goes. No ways. He's recovered the bomb. He's going to go for this. 30 seconds left. Less than. They know exactly where he was moments ago. The Shelfie with low HP. It's so doable for Shock. But time is not on his side.
He needs to get this kill quickly on Xiaofi if he wants any opportunity. And Xiaofi not going to expose himself until it's too late. Jumps up. And Assassin's Creed style gives 9Pandas a third. Sinners just very ineffective towards Banana there. They definitely should have been able to win out and take that space. They had many opportunities to do so, and even though they had quite good utility and 9Pandas on the other side of it had quite poor utility, it wasn't enough, and Sinners back onto a low buy.
Yeah, all in all, not the best round. Just really struggling to get any of that map control. Map control, particularly on Inferno. Banana control, absolute pivot point here. And unfortunately, not being able to get that control has been a huge devastation for them. Another missed AWP shot. We've had a few of those. It's been a little bit unfortunate to watch, but they still have the weapons advantage. They still get a decent amount of chip damage with ordinances, so not the end of the world, and there is information gained off of that, so now they can come and reinforce this site, and that's exactly what they're going to do. A bit of presence towards Banana in case there's an attempt at a wraparound, but no, it's going to be a death ball heading straight towards this A site. Shelfie getting in advanced. Only good for 1 before he's traded out. That could be a gun given over, but Dilladez there to hold the line. They do give over 1 gun, but I disbalance. Will you miss yet another shot? He doesn't even get a chance to try. AWP handed straight over to Oscar. Gun recovered from Shock. Now they're going to rotate over towards B, but this is exactly where Glowing is waiting for them. If Glowing plays patient, doesn't peek this, he can absolutely hold this, but if he peeks into the AWP, it's over.
Shock probably should have got that kill. Glowing left on 9 HP. That Molotov equally been really useful towards Banana, and Oscar now killed from behind. Shock, this is a big round for him if he is to succeed. Gets the bomb down, repositions, holding. He understands once towards Banana. Probably does expect the second, but Glowing just basically gives himself up for the cause, and Dilladez is able to secure his third frag of the round. 4-3, and my god, this game has just been back, forth, back, forth, back, forth.
And the ecos, I mean, again, another round where the ecos get so much value. I think that Oscar kind of shoots himself in the foot there, staying towards CT. The potential for a wraparound and a backstab is so high. Perhaps if he'd gone through Church with his teammate, get that bomb planted, hold a deeper line, you know, maybe there's a chance there. But hindsight is 2020. 9Pandas are going to be happy taking the lead here in the series. And for Sinners, they've gone for... Obviously, they're forcing into this. They've got to spend everything that they can into it. Oscar, AWP in hand once again. Now it needs to get those results. He can't afford to be missing shots here. And the ordinances from Nimes again, just so much pressure, denying that banana control very, very early on.
Once again, very good nades. Glowing has been on the receiving end of 1 or 2 from his teammates and the opposition. Slower default here from Sinners. Scouting out top brackets, kind of seeing that this is all clear. What?
Okay.
Okay. We didn't really see it from his perspective. We kind of saw it from like a third person perspective. Morisco has just been absolutely owned, and that is a fairly vital opening kill for 9Pandas, but they do lose control towards top brackets, and similarly towards top banana. They now have a big lack of information, but do have the good read that it is going to be an A play. 4 players securing, ready to anchor down.
Honestly, very few things are as satisfying to me personally as a flying shot to the face. Oh, you know what? That's pretty satisfying. That's pretty satisfying. Clax just kind of shift walk straight into the AWP. That's going to even out the numbers a little bit here. 9Pandas not ready to commit to this hold just yet, but now as the numbers start to reinforce in onto the site, yes, there is a trade, but 9Pandas have to move quickly. Bomb is already on site. It's being planted, and there's nothing that they can do to stop it. Now, it's damage control. They have to staunch the bleeding a little bit. Yeah, already Sinners have full control of the site. They haven't cleared pit just yet. So there is a strong opportunity for that. Okay. Slow and slow. Not taking an aggressive push here. Oh, Idis Balance tries to reposition, gets caught out from the long angle. Now the pit player seen, fired at, chipped down so low. Only 2 players left. Can this retake even happen as the bomb continues to tick away? Dilladez will lose his life. Shelfie will recover the AWP and head for the hills.
I mean, on one hand of it, you have great entry frags from the Sinners side and being able to make it work in a man's advantage with Oscar getting not only the opening kill, but pretty much the kill that ends off the round. But on the other hand of it, you have 9Pandas where you've got 4 players towards the A bomb site and you really give up that A site really easily. Like, I don't know how that goes so wrong from them. They have the man advantage. They have the right read. They give up the opening kill on the execute as soon as a poising to jump. They just allow Oscar to not even pick in with his AWP. They kind of just walk into him. And I think a tactical pause definitely needed to be like, what just happened right there? And also talk about what you want to do this round. You've got the saved AWP. You have one player with armor saved because of that. And even though the money's pretty rough and it is shown by the purchase, they're still going to buy into it.
I'm just having a look at the last time that these two teams played Inferno against one another, and it was in a CCT back in May. At that point, you know, Sinners map pick, exactly the same as it is now.
Wasn't it?
Sorry?
It was with Seized. It was when
yes,
9Pandas won. It was when
13-5.
It was kind of like, well, it was like a last dance for Seized in a CCT, which is a weird tournament to have your last dance in, but I'm pretty sure they won the whole tournament, and then he retired. I'm pretty sure Caesar's retired. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that was cool from 9Pandas.
Well, in any event, the first half ended at an 8-4 in favor of 9Pandas. Looks to me like history may not be repeating itself this time around. The utility starts. Wow, that's a throwback. Well, unfortunately, Shelfie, even on the elevated position, cannot make the shots connect. He's instantly shut down. Glowing loses a bit of HP in the flames there, but it's perfect. He draws them out. He gets the shot. The MP9 absolutely sings. And with only 2 players left alive, once again, a low buy from 9Pandas. Gets way more value than expected. Ooh. Now, both sets of footprints heard. Footsteps, clacks, first shot. Oh, waits for the sound of the op shot to come through, and somehow, after 2 missed shots, is able to close that out with the pistol. That's cool.
That was a play. I mean, it doesn't matter how you get the kills. It's all about the fact that you got the kills. And realistically, it wouldn't have mattered that much if Clax hadn't, say, finalized that frag onto Oscar. Like, still would have probably been brought down. I mean, I don't know how 9Pandas have gotten away with that. It's Sinners just kind of really lax walking into that B site. Kind of very similar to what happened on the pistol round of, like, walking through smokes. I don't know. But Sinners, they had a really good opportunity to maybe take a lead here in the first half. They won't be able to have that opportunity now, as they're now onto the low buy where they have no armor. It's pretty much a full eco. And Ice Panzer's AWP, it should have got 1, should have got 2 there. I'm not sure where his bullets are going currently, but I think it's quite lucky that his riflers are stepping up instead of him.
Yeah, I feel like both AWPers have been a little hit or miss so far in this series.
Oscar's been pretty good, I think.
Yeah, he's been alright. There've been a few... Cool. As one does. Once again, the Deagle's just getting way too much value. B-Stick, that's not okay, man. 2 kills to come through. Barely lost any health in that one. Somehow Shock's able to get away. Diladez gonna do fantastic work here to get 2. But it's not enough just yet. If Sinners can pick up a couple more rifles here, the game is on. The last 2 players from 9Pandas will start to rotate in. But here's Marisco all the way over on the B site, and he's going to make the call, guys. Doesn't seem to be much happening here. Bomb's going to start to rotate in. 9Pandas have to respond to that, and they have to respond quickly. If they respond at all.
Ooh, there we go. You are calling upon and critiquing Oscar's AWPing. That's a very valuable quickscope. But like B-Stick, he is my go. I've kind of always praised him as someone, as an IGL that... I don't think he has the consistency maybe of like always topping the scoreboard, but I find him a very reliable fragging IGL. Like he's someone that I think can really have his moments, and I think Shalfie is somewhat similar because he came up as quite a hard rifler, and now leaning into that IGL role. I think we've got 2 IGLs that can really pop off, and B-Stick right there, like just absolutely fantastic, just nails 3 players, and they weren't easy shots. Like he duels an AWPer. You know, the hand cannon is called the hand cannon for a reason because it really can blow off a mighty shot. And B-Stick, what a great round. No armor in that whole process, and I was just saying that Sinners probably could have ran away with this half, and the irony of the fact they win it on pretty much a full eco with just a deagle, and that's pretty much it, is fantastic. And 9Pandas with only 1,400 loss bonus going into this round and 1 saved AK, their money's in a really sour position, and they're going to be forced to take their second tactical pause.
Yeah, I mean, it's outrageous enough that he gets those first 2 kills with the Deagle and lives to get the 3rd as well, just to follow that up. Final nail in the coffin. You know, just insult to injury on that one. Great performance from him. And yeah, much needed timeout here from 9Pandas. I feel like they're allowing the aggression from Sinners to overrun them at every turn. And they start off a lot of their rounds really well. There's a lot of rounds where they get the opening kill. There's a lot of rounds where they absolutely deny banana control entirely for a good start of the round. But that kind of mid to late round is where they really, really struggle. They just can't find a way to get themselves back into the game, come up with those contingency plans, or maybe it's not come up with, maybe it's just, you know, execute the contingency plan. But something's got to give here. They got to find a way to stem the tide, because we're at 5-5, 2 rounds left in this half. And for either team, I mean, getting these 2 in the bag be a great boon for them for second half.
I'm actually shocked at how back and forth this game has been. It's been really just like all over the place so far. I think we've seen a multitude of eco wins and low buy wins. Teams seemingly struggling more with the rifles. Sinner's been playing better when they just take a slower approach to the round and don't maybe force an issue onto a certain bomb site. And that round is kind of actually another example of it. And right now, just again, these grenades, they really are unrelenting. They seem to have a honing beacon onto these players on top banana. They always land in the right spot. Morisco, I mean, it's good utility. Like he molos top banana. He forces someone towards sandbags and then gets 2 pretty hefty nades. He's now going to be holding that control. In the meantime, though, Mikey, the player that gets promoted to the main squad, gets a very tasty opening kill on A. Morisco needs to be very careful. Walking into the Lion's Den here. Spots 2 players. But the bomb is down in T-Spawn. He would have been the one player that would have had to go and pick it up and bring it over. And because he dies as well, you've got Oscar having to go get the bomb, while also Idis Balance rotating around and Xiaofi backstabbing them. 30 seconds left. They're forced towards this A bomb side. Idis Balance is behind the motor smoke, but he'll be able to initiate very shortly. 2 players on the bomb site. They're going to anchor perfectly. Mikey, his entries have been so good, but shock as he's left all alone. 9Pandas win a round after losing the opening kill towards A.
Honestly, I was waiting for the Shelfie backstab. In fact, I thought that he'd be able to get the bomb collector, but timing just wasn't quite side there. The fact that he's still able to get one of those in mid, fantastic. Yes, he does get traded out, but it makes those reinforcements for the T's that much more difficult to deal with, and a great setup on that A site just to deny that bomb from getting planted entirely. And that's what we needed to see. We needed to see them kind of maintain their stability in that round despite losing a fairly key proponent in their defensive line. Now we get into the next round and immediately we go straight into aggression once more. Beastic only good for 1 before he's traded out, but look at all that damage that's been done already. And Morisco very, very much in a dangerous spot here. 9Pandas do not want to give over that control without putting up some sort of a fight. But now the advanced positions have come through. Idis Balance flashed out, cannot make the shot connect, and takes a chunk of damage himself. But that's okay. Teammates are there to pick up the slack ever so slightly. Bomb is still moving over towards B, but there's still presence on A. 9Pandas unsure, unready to commit to a rotation just yet. It's all going to come down to Glowing's information. Mikey taking out Idis Balance. All right, all you needed was a feather at the point, but it was a headshot, so, you know, credit where it's due. And unfortunately now, this seems almost unrecoverable for 9Pandas. Glowing has a huge task at hand here. He has to hold this bomb site. He has to get at least 1. A second would be phenomenal. It's not going to happen. Mollied out of his position and instantly taken out by Shock. It's all down to Klaxia. They know where he is. And of course, the AWP shot will connect. 6-6 at the half. Let's see. Can either... Well, which of these teams will bring it back in the second?
really back and forth affair on the first half of Inferno. It's 9Pandas' map pick. We saw eco rounds, force buy rounds, everything of the sorts being won out, and it's neck and neck, 6-6. We flipped the half. Sinners on the CT side. This pistol round could really do a lot for either side's momentum.
Yeah, honestly, could not have been any closer. Right down to the wire. And the rounds themselves as well. I don't know if we had a flawless round. I think, you know, every single one of those rounds was incredibly scrappy. So just keeping it as close as humanly possible from start to finish. It was looking like we were going to have an aggressive push straight up banana. But then they backed out and they went towards mid and they decided, no, we're not going to go mid. Actually, we're going to go back up banana. And as they make their way through, the dualies come alive. Only good for one. Diladez with a flying shot to come through. Beestick will trade it, but Shelfie will get yet another one. Now they have full control of the bomb site. Bomb has been planted. Thank you, announcer man. And now the retake is on for Sinners. They do have a nice little three-prong approach coming through here. No util to use on either side, so it's going to have to be explosive. It's going to have to be aggressive. Shelfie has already spotted one. Takes a few pot shots. Tries to connect, but allows some space to walk up. Turns his attention to mid. Catches out Shock. And somehow, with only 2 players left, Mikey, 2 kills almost makes the magic happen, but can't at the last moment. Idis Balance will get that final kill.
Ooh, that was almost Mikey's round. I really saw that. The lineup was there, but great entries from 9Pandas, and then also just playing that post plant really well. Sinners, unfortunately, even though they had every single primary zone on that retake, they just couldn't really make it happen. They lost the opening kill, and also Idis Bands, let's say Diladez, he gets one of the opening kills. He's had a great game so far. He has been maybe one of the main reasons why 9Pandas are at this level, alongside Shelfie in this map, and I think he's really been picking off some of the slack of Idis Balance, who on the York was really quite poor on that first half, missing a lot of shots. And when your T-side AWPer is doing better than the CT side AWPer, that definitely starts to beg a lot of questions. And I think when we do get onto the gun rounds, when Oscar can get the AWP out, I could really see him taking command of this server.
Yeah, that round goes exactly as expected. Now this is where the big question comes in. You know, Sinners lost the pistol in the first half. They've lost the second pistol as well. Now we need to see them kind of recover from this a little bit. Yeah, buy comes through, so they've at least got something to work with. Hopefully they can take this fight to 9Pandas. 9Pandas have been playing this quite well, particularly that first pistol round. Quite a bit of uncertainty as to what they were going to be doing, keeping Sinners on their toes. But now we'll have Sinners throwing out some of that early util. A nice smoke and a very advanced position here from Morisco. He could get so much, but he could get absolutely nothing. Great shots to come through there from the MAC-10s. The first kill to come through, and that means that the site is relatively unguarded. We have had a rotation come through here from Oscar. This crossfire could be absolutely everything, but unfortunately, Beestick caught in a corner cannot make that crossfire happen. Instantly taken out. Bomb's going to get planted, and once again, it's Sinners in a 3-person retake. This time, however, they have not given themselves any sort of rope to work with, and they might have to just pull back, pull away.
Definitely now, yeah, shot gets dinked at range. I actually liked that reposition from Beestick. I thought he did really well there to get into dark and not get spotted as well. But doesn't get a single frag. Oscar just needs to try and escape. I think they're giving him that luxury for now. But Sinners, yeah, really poor play towards top banana. Morisco just doesn't know where to look, doesn't know who to shoot at, and they get the better of him. And realistically, Beestick gets caught in like an unwinnable situation. Like, he has a rotation with no utility. He's trapped in dark, and they've got all 5 players storming onto that bomb site. Best case scenario, he gets 2. At that would have been quite impressive, but he doesn't get any single frags. Save is there, so we will have another full buy for Sinners.
Much needed as well, as 9Pandas get themselves ever closer. Already at 9 rounds, 1 more will put them at double digits. And of course, 1 more will also do some pretty hefty damage to Sinners' economy. even if they are forced into another save. It's going to put them in a bit of a tight spot here. So 9Pandas looking to really clinch themselves a strong position. Sinners, once again, a nice aggressive hold here. Gets that first, instantly traded out. Mikey, can you get a little bit more done with that? An interesting jump spot there, and just cannot make anything connect. That Mac 10, it's such close range. It's going to be very difficult to deal with. Also with the elevation advantage as well. Was so much to ask for. Beestick will get his though. 3-3. The rest of Sinners so split up at this point. Oscar all alone on the site itself. No one's pushed him just yet. Oh! Dear Lord, how does he get that? Drop down, takes out Oscar, but Beestick is there to trade. Sinners keep this unbelievably close. Now glowing in a very, very tight clutch situation here. At the very least, bomb's going to get planted, so there's a little bit of extra cash, because why the hell not? But can he keep these last two duels isolated? Doesn't even get the opportunity, as he's caught taking out his gun once more. And that's going to be Sinners getting themselves a point on the board on the CT's half.
Really, really impressive rotation from Beestick there. He single-handedly wins out that whole round, being able to negate presence and be able to basically negate any players, be able to keep an advantage or have a 2 versus 2 or whatever, or even get the bomb site. I think Mikey got caught in a really rough position in Boiler. I think the reason why he went for the fight is that there was nobody in middle, so he thought maybe if he exited Boiler, he would just die from someone coming out top bracket, so he felt like he had to hit the fight, but unfortunately, he actually would have been able to get away. And yeah, Beestick, that whole round is pinned down on his rotation and his rotation alone. Sinners, they get their first round the board, and 9Pandas were very much in a position where they could have run away with this half. It did seem like that maybe was on the cards, but instead, we're alive here on Inferno. Both AWPs are out, and the dance of utility on Banana is alive as always.
That's worth pointing out. Dillade is casually sitting on a 20-9.
Yeah, he's just non-stop. Yeah,
absolute amazing performance from him. Cannot be stemmed at any point. Now 9Pandas, they've taken so much space here. How have they just allowed this to happen? All right, there's the smoke there to deny the push. Yeah.
So they started 3B, so then they have 2 players on A that wouldn't have been fighting. So you had both Mikey and Shock that they're playing on the bomb site, and now you see the rotation from Oscar and Beestick after they've left Morisco. Not even taken Banana, but just taking top Banana. They've allowed him to stay here, and they've will rotate one over, probably because they don't have Banana. They only have that top Banana, but still with 3 players on this A bomb site, Oscar is primed and ready with the AWP.
I was about to say, rotating the bomb holder would have been very spicy.
Oh, no.
But he does. Oh, they've baited out the AWP shot. Smoke's going to come through. That's going to shut down a lot of sightline there. It's a great lurk smoke potential. But they are pushing in towards A already. It's already 3 on site, though. They've maintained their hold yet. And yet, Glowing with bomb in hand will get 2 for himself. The trades do come through, but it's not going to be enough to stop that bomb from being planted. Sin is now in a massive advantageous position. Mikey to get the first. Somehow doesn't spot Ida's Balance right behind him, but it's Beestick who will put Ida's Balance down. And it's another round in favor of Sinners.
Man, what a great rotation again from Beestick. Like, he rotates in, he catches off Xiaofi, who had thrown the wrap smoke towards B. And what I actually like is that the wrap smoke gets thrown down, but Sinners still commit to the A bomb site. They still know that it's actually going to be a play towards A. And you see, you have Oscar pushing aggressively from Library onto the bomb site. But yeah, honestly, without Mikey, that round would have been completely over. Without his heroics towards Pit, I think that would have been a fallen bomb site. But again, it's Beestick. I've called upon him and said that, like, he is this great fragging IGL, and you can really see how mobile he is around this map, playing a very active position, and he plays it perfectly. But with the bomb down, 9Pandas still have an investment, and Sinners, remember, they've only been keeping a handful of players alive each round, because they equally have not fortified their economy.
Alright, a little bit of early noise. Great util from Sinners as well. It's keeping 9Pandas very corralled in mid for the moment. Bought them a lot of time, but flashes will come through. Smokes to come out as well to give 9Pandas the space they need to start pushing up. Mikey is here ready and waiting, and he'll get the first. Follows it up with the second. Cannot make the third connect. However, That's okay. Shock. Good for his 2 as well. And that leaves Shelfie all alone here.
Okay.
Oh, 2 HP. He doesn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. Oscar was there and waiting. Great round from Sinners, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, not even Sinners. Great round from Mikey and Shock. I think that's the first time that we've seen the A bomb site be held without the necessity of a rotation from B-Stick. So that actually fills me with a lot of confidence that this A site is starting to be a little bit more locked down. I will say very individual fights though, like Mikey at the end there, like he could have easily been traded after the first frag or not got his first at all. You would have had Shock now then on the Iceberg. Sinners, they've been starting 3 players towards Banana most rounds, and I do wonder if they're going to continue doing that, and I think they should, because this is a round where I really see 9Pandas maybe cruise for a bruise towards B. And they've also just used their final tactical pause. I think it was a good time to use this pause, because this half is all of a sudden a little bit of a worry.
Definitely a lot closer, I think, than 9Pandas would have wanted. Especially, you know, given the fact that the last time they played up in this one, it was a fairly one-sided affair. Sinners definitely looking a lot better here, and it is their map pick, so you do expect them to have some something up their sleeves. Alright, again, we're doing a lot of space denial here. Oh, Morisco! 89 through the smoke. Get the first kill onto Glowing. Glowing's been a pretty important piece here for 9Pandas. He has had some clutch moments, so taking him off the board, quite an important one. It is obviously an anti-eco, so you do expect them to come out on top of this one. But still, for that first kill to come through in that kind of a fashion, now once again, they're stuck in mid, waiting for that util to get used, waiting for it to dissipate, so they can use theirs to give themselves a little bit of space here. Sin is just not relenting.
However, you need to be careful because it is going to be this play towards B. Shelfie throwing that smoke on long as more of a fake. B-Stick needs to drop this Molo. He needs to be in a... He's really... Yeah, drops the Molo way too late. He drops it and they're already ahead of it. Now, 2 players on the B bomb site. Bomb, though, dropped. It was actually behind the Molotov, so there is some effectiveness in the utility that was used. 3 versus 3. Mikey overextends while trying to cover the bomb being re-picked up. Bomb tapped, maybe anticipating some utility to be thrown, but nothing will be used to deny this bomb being planted. And now the CT smoke has faded, so with a little bit of scare for the 9Pandas side, still continuously tapping, everybody swings on each other. The numbers are still even. Sinners have been never able to take an advantage in this late round, but finally they do. Klax has already found 2. He's got an AK. 5 seconds though, there's no time. Bomb can't be retrieved. And he's just going to go and try and save this AK by the skin of their teeth, by a whisker. Sinners are able to complete the win against the anti-low buy. However, not convincing whatsoever. And their money still not that great of a position because of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was so unfortunate. If 9Pandas had actually committed to the bomb plant, they would have had, at the very least, the plant.
Probably a round.
But... yeah, very likely. But unfortunately, they're so paranoid, and that's where that mental really becomes so important. Yeah, they start to panic a little bit. They have no real information. They're trying to bait out the info from Sinners, and Sinners, they refuse to give that information. They will not allow that to happen, so they'll snag themselves double digits. Oscar! That's what I've been waiting for. And you said it, he's been pretty good. But I love shots like that. I love the cheekiness. Getting up into those high, unpredictable places. Getting the shot and getting the hell out. Now Mikey gets swung, but doesn't care one bit. Shelfie will get taken straight off the board. And once again, it's Sinners at a 2-player advantage. 9Pandas trying to find some sort of ingress, but it's Oscar with yet another one. I don't even know if 9Pandas can come back from this one. And their money is in such a dire situation. This looks like it could be the beginning of the end.
Yeah, 11-9. I think they're going to try and get this bomb planted. They're going to see if they can find any ounce of success. Still revealing that they are certainly towards short. Glowing can't even get a single frag. A flawless round. I think one of the first flawless rounds, or maybe the first flawless round since round 2, where Sinners, they won the pistol, and then 9Pandas just saved after the bomb went down. So 11-9, great for the economy, great for the morale, and great to see Oscar, the old dog, still knows some new tricks.
Yeah, very, very impressive resurgence here from Sinners. Well done to them to keep things so close. I love their kind of, not necessarily unpredictable, but fairly dynamic play style. Just, you know, getting into strange positions. Nice little bit of util to come through there, but the shots ring through, unrelenting. And somehow it's 9Pandas who will get their first kill here in this round. Of course, it is a very weird low buy situation happening here. Tech 9s and Mac 10s. All the guns with, not all the guns, but the fun guns with numbers. Put it that way. Sinners, I mean, still very much the advantage here. And there you go. Oscar's going to get that shot onto Shelfie. But 9Pandas have now opted to try to make their way in through apps. Do they check for shock here? Oh my god! He swings at the right time, but unfortunately just gets domed immediately by that Tech 9. But that's all that information given over. They know now it is going to be the A hit. Bomb should get planted pretty uncontested here. But Mikey... Oh, Mikey spots one. Trigger discipline. There's one right under him.
Oh, no.
Can't connect the shots. There you go. Kill confirmed at last, but they know where he is. They swing on him, and Oscar's the last one left. With AWP in hand, he has to make miracles happen. Now they know where his position is. He misses both shots and realizes, well, that's my cue. I'm out of here. And they're looking to hunt him. They've picked up some guns here. They don't want to let him get away with this AWP. They don't want to let that money stay in their hands. 9Pandas out for blood.
Oh, Mikey, that round was in the palm of his hands. The snake in the grass coming from apartments. The fact that he got that kill in mini pit, I was like, is he about to just do something crazy? And Oscar, yeah, I don't think he can save this. Oh, the no scope doesn't connect. No AWP, still ability to purchase that AWP, but it means that Ida Spans gets a free one. This game has just never allowed any peace of mind for either side. And 9Pandas on the low purchase. They charge up onto the A bomb site, and Mikey cannot succeed. That A site has been really hit and miss so far in this map. And that's another round where it's a firm miss.
Do you know, I should have known better. I was like, oh, it could be the beginning of the end. But these low buy / eco rounds, since the beginning of this map, have been absolutely ridiculous. So can never count out either of these teams, even when the money is low. And now 9Pandas will hit themselves a double digit as well, and see if they can maybe snag this lead back from Sinners. It's been a minute. It hasn't been since shortly after the pistol round that they had the lead. So a couple more rounds to try to make that happen. 9Pandas slow things right down, waiting for that little bit of information. Just a moment of a misstep. Mikey on this elevated position, it is fairly common, but are they going to check for it? Are they going to be aware of it? Still unwilling to push, but finally it happens. Shelfie swings through, gets two in fact, and Ida's balance will follow up with one of his own. Bomb is still in spawn. They're looking to make a statement with this round. We're just going to kill everyone. We don't need to plant the bomb. Now we're going to go back and fetch it now.
Yeah, that's a great read from Shelfie, because normally when the smoke gets thrown under porch there in response to the Molotov being thrown, is because it's actually a short setup and there's a player boosted up. Shelfie reads it absolutely perfectly, and the IGL, well, it's the brains of the operation, certainly flexing his brain muscles right there, and also just his brawn. Like, he just opens up so cleanly, actually. And 9Pandas now probably in a position to be taking it all, because they're going to be 11-11. It's going to be a full eco round for Sinners. They might have the saved A1S from B-Stick if they are lucky, but apart from that, it's going to be a full eco round, and it should be 9Pandas hitting map point on Sinners map pick first.
I don't think there's a world in which B-Stick survives here. They are after him like lionesses under the savannah,
yeah.
And there you go. Gun taken away. 11-11. Now, you mentioned that it's going to be a full pistol round. I raise you every low buy we've had this entire map.
True.
There's a world. I don't know if it's this world, but there is a world But the problem is that even if they can keep it expensive, it's not going to matter. At this point, 9Pandas have managed to build up a pretty sizable pot of cash. So even if they lose this round, by some miracle, they're still going to be fine into the next. And if they win this round, even with losing a few weapons, they're still going to be fine. The dangerous spot for Sinners to be in. We have to hope that some magic happens. And okay, the magic has begun. 2 kills. And guns retrieved as well. I could give them a little bit of an opportunity here. Maybe not enough to win them out the round, but keep things as competitive as possible. 9Pandas now have the suspicion. B site should be relatively clear. They're still going to flush it out as much as possible, but there you go. They make their way in onto the site. Bomb's going to get planted. And again, there's a world here where Sinners just go, yeah, we'll keep these rifles. You can have the site. We'll see you in the next round. I mean, look at B-Stick. He's chilling in their spawn with the rifle. He's like, nope.
Yeah. I don't blame him. Like, the economy's not great, and saving this AK, saving both AKs is actually massive, because Oscar will be able to drop his over. He can buy up an AWP. Like, it makes this next buy so much more substantial than it would have been otherwise. But 9Pandas, as predicted that it should have happened, there was definitely a glimmer of scare for a second. You're like, hold on a second, is this really gonna be an eco win again? But they find 12 first, and they're not going to be able to hunt down any of those AKs. So Sinners allowed to save those 2, and now this could potentially be the final round. Full 24, or do we go to overtime? Can Sinners force us to the extra mile on their map pick? Or not out for Oscar. Ooh. He's just chosen to go with the AK. I guess he wants full utility instead. I think he would have, he would have had like AWP, no util. So instead, he maintains the AK and doesn't buy an AWP. Instead, just buys full util.
Yeah, fair enough. Especially because they have used quite a bit of util this early banana control. So you want to make sure that you've got a little bit left for retake if necessary. Ooh, smoke gets cleared, but no follow-up on it. B-Stick surviving there is big. That means that he remains installed. So he's in a good spot here to make some magic happen. But in the meantime, the push comes through up towards mid. The first player is spotted.
Good
Mikey,
trade.
good for one. Traded out. For someone to peek out. Find some information. Great shot from Ida's Balance. Perfectly predicted. That's going to be the A site, cracked open already, and some great smokes to really slow down these reinforcements. But Oscar, he's already made it into library. He's made his way out. He cannot connect the shots, but that's a great HE. Now they've made this incredibly doable purely off the fact that so many of these players are so low but glowing. They don't expect him to be there. He'll take out Oscar. 2 players left alive here for Sinners, and everything on the line here. This is their map. They want to make this happen. It has to be pixel perfect time, ticking away, slipping through their fingers. They don't have any time to play with. Dilladez good for another good. Dilladez good for the last as well. And it makes sense that it would be him to close it out with 27 kills on that map. 9Pandas, it was starting to look a little touch and go there, but they do manage to eke this one out.
Yeah, Dilladez definitely had a really quiet second half after he was like 20-7. And then kind of in those last 2 rounds just gets 4 kills and pretty much wins it out for them. Ida's Balance also showing up massively with the AWP, but the most important part of that final round was the really good reaction from 9Pandas of identifying that there were 3 players towards the B bomb site early for the city side, something that I commented upon quite a few times, that like 9Pandas haven't necessarily reacted massively to that. They did on the Tech 9 round and then did again there, and it's allowed them to close out their opponent's map pick really, like, honestly quite decisively as well at the end there, winning 4 rounds in a row. You were kind of calling upon like, oh, it's the 11th hour for 9Pandas. Sinners, they're in a great position. They're against Tech 9s. They should be getting 12. And like, I completely agreed with you. I thought that was going to be the case. But also our player to watch, Xiaofi, maybe not like massive numbers, 19 to 19, but on one of the penultimate rounds, he gets a double opener, and he is able to get traded out in that previous round. Like, you could see he had some really big impact on getting onto those bomb sites, and he also called an absolute brace.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's the IGL, he's still putting up those numbers. You said it right, fragging IGL. It's one of the greatest things that you can actually have on a team. So very, very impressive performance from them. We're going to be heading into our second map very, very shortly. And as just a little bit of a teaser, the last time these two teams played on 4 in favor of 9Pandas. Will that be a repeat performance? Find out after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to ESL Challenger League 48 here in the European region. We've just had our first map between 9Pandas and Sinners, and it was Sinners' map pick, and for a moment there, a brief glimmer, it looked like Sinners were going to be able to take it away, but 9Pandas from the top rope, from behind, they absolutely slam dunked it, and they managed to take it away. Now we move over onto Nuke. It is 9Pandas' map pick, and the last time they played on this map versus one another, it was a fairly one-sided affair. Freddie, how are we feeling? Temperature check for map 2.
I'm not feeling too hopeful in my pick. I think that kind of maybe is the statement I'll be giving. I think 9Pandas, I think this is looking like a 2-0, I'm not gonna lie. Sinners, like, look, they have got a lot of experience on this map, but I'm kind of like, I don't think I've even ever really watched them much on this map. Like, it's a map that I don't think they're too happy about. They lost to Eklot on a LAN final. They've lost against a lot of pretty lower tier opponents, but have been on a pretty good streak in the last couple days. And now on the CT side, they actually got the man advantage. Shock just gets 2, and they're trying to get down the vent. They're trying to get down the vent, but they're unable to do so. Shalfi now last alive, and he just sat there going, lads, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know how they got stuck there. They were just kind of struggling to get vent open, and B-Stick just like spams the smoke. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll have those kills. 2 for him. Bomb is completely lost, and here's Shelfie with a lot to do here, a lot on his shoulders. He was our player to watch. 1v4 in a pistol. You know, I can see the dream. Will that dream become a reality? Seems rather unlikely, as Sinners already begin to kind of fan out a little bit, look to see where he might be. A real inclination that he's just wrapped all the way around from outside. He's going to poke his head around this corner. Okay, gets that first kill, but position known here. 3-2-1 swing. Yeah, 3-2-1 swing. And that round ends exactly as we thought it should have. Sinners with the first pistol.
Yeah, I mean, like, realistically, from start to finish, that was a really messy round for 9Pandas. They don't get the bomb down, so Sunna's in a pretty good position now to start some sort of lead on this CT side. I think they're going to have to really fall back on that that lead and that momentum, because look, like 9Pandas and just, I guess, any team from the CIS region seem to be just insane on this map. And 9Pandas, they beat Johnny Speeds on this map to make it through from the close qualifier of Bet Boom Dasher. Like, you know, this is a really good map for them, and I'd be very surprised if Sinners take it out. However, a pistol round is pretty much the best start you'd ever want, and now up against the Eco is just, ooh, this is okay. Well, the bomb's down on B. The bomb's going to be planted. I don't know if Shock's going to be there in time. He is. Can Shock deny the bomb? Yes. Yes. So far, yes. And not so far, yes. Okay, well, he denies the bomb going down, so, you know what? A win is a win, and the A1S will be retrieved. Okay.
Yep, he did his job.
Yeah, bomb not going down there is kind of the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of extra cash, but unfortunately, would have been a little bit of extra cash, but unfortunately just completely denied. I think with the A1S against what 9Pandas had in that round, you kind of expect him to be able to win most of those fights. Eventually he does get taken out, but a valiant attempt from 9Pandas. Sinners really struggled there to get those kills, to get that damage in before the vent slip happened. But ultimately, they do wrangle that round back in their favor. Now again, a very explosive pop straight in onto the A site. And 9Pandas doing some serious damage here, but it's going to take a little bit more. With that kill, it's absolutely doable. But Shock here from the high ground. Some great damage to come through. And Oscar coming around the corner. Not going to be able to deny the plant this time, but they will deny another round.
That's probably the most important factor. Really interestingly that 9Pandas don't buy in. They didn't buy into that previous round. I don't know. They kind of just test the waters out on A a little bit. But I mean, like, now they got hella money. They got anything they would have wanted. And more interesting enough is that Klax drops 2 AKs. I think he did just drop instead of buying up an AWP for Idis Balance. So we're not going to be AWPing on the T side. That could be an indication that we're going to see some more fast plays coming out from 9Pandas. And for now, it's going to be outside smokes. And they're going to be utilizing Glowing to try and fake some presence. Well, the rest of the team are in lobby. And they might just want to pop early onto A. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. B-Stick, utility out, was going to be smoking door. Just not anticipate them to be opening it like that. Mikey, though, in a very open position. An off angle, catch them off. Glowing outside. The lurker spotted and dealt with. Now, Shalfie and Idis Balance, they can't even go down the ladder because there's a player in the ladder. What's going on? Okay. Oscar went up and down the ladder, and then Idis Balance tried to go down, but as I mentioned, like, there was a player there. And okay, Sinners 4-0. This is a pretty important round to be winning for them, especially considering B-Stick actually died pretty much instantly as the door player.
I'll be honest, these A-Pops have just not been getting the results that they wanted. You're not seeing enough of that kind of standardized exec util. They're not getting people out of positions. They're not, forcing anyone into, like, uncomfortable angles. They just kind of run out. And sure, they catch B-Stick with util in hand. But as soon as you run out into the open, Mikey's there. He's good for 2. No one can trade him out. He's just kind of standing in the middle of the site, just in front of the 2 silos waiting. And he gets his. And in a magnificent fashion. So it's just another A-pop that goes completely awry. Now, okay, 9Pandas struggling a bit, not struggling, but not as much cash as they would have wanted. So they should still be able to get a pretty decent buy out of this one. I want to see some changes here. And we do have a slight pause here, guys. I think this is more than likely a tech issue. So we'll try and get that sorted out as quickly as possible. Please do bear with. But I want to see some adaptation from 9Pandas here. I was kind of hoping we'd see that in the previous round. But I also get why you tried again. First 2 rounds, kind of a weird, janky buy. That didn't work out. Now try it with guns. Didn't work with guns, so hopefully now we see something a little bit different.
I mean, yeah, if they just traded out Mikey a little bit better on the bomb site, they probably actually would have found the success. There was just definitely that element of, like, they were feeling out success towards A, and they were like, yeah, we could do this. And I think one of the most important factors is the fact that Glowing dies outside as well. Like, you then lose your extremity players, and you get very narrowed down onto the A bomb site. But yeah, it does seem like there is a tech issue, and when we get out of that, it's not going to be the most exciting of rounds, as we just have... it is max loss bonus, I think, for 9Pandas now, so they can invest quite a bit. We probably could get an AK out for Shalfie. Probably could even go for a buy if they really want to. Like, it'd be quite brazen, but, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Nah, I mean, hero rifle... Or, as you say, full buy could work out. The thing is, it's very high risk, high reward, right? Like, you force in that heavily, you really want to be getting results out of it. But the opposite is also true. So, what's that?
It's just kind of same with anything. Like, I think you still get a good buy here. Like, you're still going to get full utility Galils, and, like, Shalfie can get full util. The only thing missing is Clack and just 2 Galils.
Yeah. Not terrible by any measure. But again, even with max loss bonus, losing here puts them in a really tight spot in the next round. So it is risky just for the longevity of their money. But the important thing is if they can make a statement here, then things start to you know, move in their favor a little bit. Sinners is going to get very little money off the back of this round, and you know, B-Stick only has $1,100, Mikey on $1,900, a little bit better off, and then you've got you got Oscar on like $5,600. So they've still got a fair amount of cash to spread around, but you start to kind of chip away at those reserves. So for 9Pandas, this is a pretty important swing round, and one that they really want to come out on top of quite handedly. And there's those changes that I was expecting. You're seeing a lot of util coming out from Sinners, kind of expecting another A pop, but instead 9Pandas going for a little bit of outside presence this time.
Oh no, I respect the effort from Mikey. As an MP9, he tries to get onto T roof within 15 seconds. I respect it so much. Just doesn't anticipate clacks in lobby. Oscar had to get them both there. He has the jump on the players in secret, and because of that, we're still going to have a lot of control maintained by the T side. Good smoke from Morisco. It's going to give him a lot of space to work with. They're going to try flash through it, and well, they're going to actually succeed. Morisco does not expect someone to come straight through that smoke that had just recently bloomed, and B-Stick stuck between a rock, a hard place, and well, whatever the third one is, because I have no idea where he can go from here. He is stuck behind Red Box and CT, and I mean, as a world they don't clear him, and he really has actually given quite a lot of distance, and they won't. Bomb though, not dropped. It's the same thing for Sinners, where unfortunately, which, I mean, in itself is actually a bad thing, that if the focus of the round is, oh, if they got multi-frags, they would have won. Like, that shouldn't be, you know, like, the takeaway of, like, well, if you'd got 2 there and I'd got 2 here, we would have won the round. But that was kind of, I guess, what occurred after we had a Mikey losing the opening kill, and Shock was actually in a great position to deny the bomb going down, or maybe disrupt something, but he gets spotted out really early, so they just evade him.
Yeah, it was a good adaptation from 9Pandas, exactly what I was waiting for, but Sinners seemingly getting a little bit too aggressive in their search for information, in their search for players, and they do get a few good kills, but, you know, just not enough, getting caught so far away from one another, not being able to really effectively trade off of each other in any meaningful way. And so Pandas take full advantage of that, and we said it, that was a risky spend for them, but they do make it pay off. Would have been nice to come through with that third rifle and not having lost that one at the end of the round, but either way, they get a nice full buy through here. And yes, Oscar, he was sitting on 5,600, so of course he's going to have the money to buy into the AWP here, but you've got 2 MP9s on the board, which means that they are chipping away there, and of course some kind of half glass cannon. Not that the head arm obviously makes that much of a difference, but it would be nice.
Aggressive opening kill from Oscar. That's a huge frag to be picking up, especially considering that your outside player has also fallen. And now Sinners, they actually have a big lack of information, and it's forcing Oscar to drop down towards secret. They have no idea if players are down towards B, and you can see the reaction as well from Shock. They've got no outside control, so ramp is completely free for the taking. They do have an AWP already down, as previously mentioned, but Shock can't do anything to really displace this ramp take. Oh, if he'd swung a little bit more aggressively, Xiaofi probably would have been caught off guard. Glowing reveals his position outside. He's drawing all his attention away, and I was gonna say, if he just gets both, that's round over. 9Pandas a little bit cautious with what they're doing. They really took a while to get down towards B, and this could be their downfall. Oscar holds the right. Okay, he looked away, and then I thought he was going to die because of it. But no, that's the man advantage now in favor of Sinners. And Sinners actually need to get a rotate on and move on, because Mikey needs to come down secret, and then B-Stick needs to commit towards ramp. And 9Pandas, therefore, are closed in.
Potential recovery here is absolutely outrageous. 3 versus 2. Bomb going to get planted. We are seeing some slight repositions. Trying to double up a little bit here, and that's best. Play your numbers. Make sure that you can trade off of one another. Now they do have a potential 2-prong. 9Pandas have good vision. Hear that sound, and it's going to be Clax to follow it up onto B-Stick. 2 versus 2, however. Door, no! Door stuck! And it's a beautiful swing from Dilladez. Knows exactly who's there. Mikey, 1 versus 2. No kit in hand. He just has to keep this as expensive as possible. Dilladez going to run away. Oh, doesn't get far enough. The tap to bait him out. Mikey with the final kill of the round. Not enough to salvage it, but enough to make it quite costly.
Well, I think the issue of costs actually reverbs back onto Sinners. It's a big issue for them that they don't keep anybody alive, and 9Pandas, realistically, in that 2 versus 3, probably shouldn't have won out that round. It felt like Sinners knew exactly what was happening. The jig was up, as one would say, and still, though, able to convert that post plant. I mean, I will say 9Pandas should have always won that round. Like, they had the opening kill, they had all the map control, they had glowing working outside. Like, everything was pointing in favor of 9Pandas until that kind of post-plant situation. So they do really well to be able to recoup themselves and still maintain that victory. And honestly, on this T side, any round that 9Pandas gets, for me, just decreases the chance of Sinners' win potential, like, drastically. Some of their games that I was looking at, like, they were not doing well whatsoever on the T side. And then on the C side, we're just absolute bulldozer.
Well, that's an A pop that worked. But of course, it was a little bit of a stack over towards B. And it's all USPSs, so highly unlikely that we're going to get too much done here. Well, Shelfie. Jeez, man. If that had been timed a little bit better, of course, we didn't see the start of that engagement, so there's every possibility that it just wasn't possible to time it perfectly. There's no way he gets more with this Mac 10. Surely not. There you go. Cavalry has arrived, and the cleanup will come through. A flawless round here for 9Pandas. Sinners not even able to get a few exits. It goes pretty swiftly in Sinners' favor. But now we have money again. So now we have prospects.
This is a really big round. Can Sinners basically keep hold of their lead? Can they keep hold of the position that they have created for themselves? And Oscar, once again, going for an aggressive play towards door, but the T side, they've actually smoked for a vent drop smoke, and I think it's actually gonna be a fast play pop. Yeah, they're gonna be going out from a Klax, utilizing this smoke. He's gonna get flashed through it. B-Stick though, dodges the flashbang. Issue is his teammate has fallen before he can react. 2 kills, 2-1, and Sinners, they get completely caught off guard, and Oscar's rotation down vent is looking a little bit dire now. This has to be a save, and 9Pandas, one of the more simpler rounds, and a really nice choreographed A-pop.
That's what we were waiting to see. Well, at least that's what I was waiting to see. And it does work out very, very nicely. And as you say, that's going to force Sinners to kind of have to back off here and hold on to the last little vestiges of weaponry that they have available to them. It's an unfortunate round for them, but that will even up our scoreline. And, well, it's looking pretty similar to our start on Inferno. Very, very back and forth. But as you said, the more rounds 9Pandas pick up on their T side, the more terrifying things start to look for this Sinners squad. And this isn't even their map pick, so, you know, you worry about how comfortable they are. You said they were having some pretty decent results recently, but over the last couple, like 3 months or so, they're at a sub 50% win rate, so not their best map by any stretch of the imagination. Before we dive into this next round, for anybody who is interested, 3D Max won their map over on our D stream. Or won the first map, and it's currently 6-6 at the half in their second. So if you want to go check that out, it's over on ESL CSD, or you just stay here because this is where the good game is.
This is actually shaping up to be a really exciting game, and it was obviously on map 1. Like, that map 1 was turbulent for very fun and entertaining reasons. I'm a little bit scared about this 9Pandas bulldozer though on Nuke. Oscar though, his AWP, that's another opening kill for him. I think this is like a 3rd opening kill with the AWP this map, and weirdly enough, they haven't actually converted a lot of those rounds that he got the openers. He gets a little bit more damage as well onto the second, and in the meantime, Marisco can just go 1-for-1 outside. Round's not over just yet for 9Pandas, and they'll be looking to try and wrap around this A site as the bomb will be collected. But 3 players here, it's been a good rotation from Shock and Heaven to maintain control outside while also being in a great position to react towards either ramp or A. Great find from the AWP. B-Stick playing out in the open with the MP9, and the AWP capitalizes. Oscar makes noise, but he still gets the kill on Klax. What in God's name was that play? And the madman, the Wolf of Wall Street once dubbed, he shows up massively in this round, but can the opposition AWP do the same. Unfortunately, no. Dilladez left down to him. The hero of map 1. Is this potentially a really heroic performance for him?
I do love that we got to see that Oscar shot from the third person. But unfortunately, Dilladez, so many eyes trained, so much suspicion. They knew exactly where he was going to be coming from, and they locked that one down. And that's a really unfortunate one for 9Pandas, because they had such good map control for so much of that. Yes, they do kind of lose their numbers very early on, but you start to think, well, you know, there's a world, and then Idis Balance gets that kill all the way from towards, like, Garage, and then everything just kind of falls apart. Oscar gets the most unreal kill from down in Vent, and he's very quickly turns things back in their favor. Sinners now back in the driving seat, looking to maintain that control as much as possible. Beestick, not afraid of Molly, will run straight through. He does get burned a little bit by the second Shelfie. So much noise made, and Morisco will quickly take advantage of that, but Glowing's there to trade it out. Bomb has made its way down towards his B side. There's a bit of a Mexican standoff happening, but it's Idis Balance who comes out on top of that one. Dylan is caught while trying to plant the bomb, but Klax is so quick to reply. Now Oscar tried to hold the line, swung by Idis Balance off the board. Mikey, last one left alive. Steps made, and Klax will finish it off. What was that round?
I mean, you've got Idis Balance. I guess he, like, Klax is the one that kind of trades everybody out, and he's there to bandage up the round. But it's Idis Balance who gets that really nice lurk from A. He's able to play he's able to get the kill on the player's second vent, and then also drops down. And I love the fact he just swings the AWP. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna swing Oscar, and he gets the kill because of it. 9Pandas, 5 rounds on the T side for me is already like, it's cinema, right? Like, hands in the air. I think this is looking for you to be correct once again in these predictions, and it's looking, even though it's still like 5-5 tied scoreline, it should be a 6th round for 9Pandas. The only worry on the other side is an AWP, but I guess to be fair, actually, we have seen so far in this series many a forced buy and a low buy.
Let's see if the Deagles can sing in this round as they have done previously. Oh, Dilladez with a nice little opening shot there onto Beestick, and he was kind of the Deagle master on our last map. Actually, he was a master of a lot of things on our last map. He's taken off very early on. He'll be followed up by Shock as well. Not too much more to get done here. Oscar trying to catch something on a rotation, but not going to be allowed. Oh, Morisco knows they're coming for him. Might have a moment, an opportunity. Not able to get anything done, but Mikey is able to get one. Mikey with a second. But that's all she wrote. Fairly decent for a Deagle round, but a little bit more would have been nice.
Oh, that would have been... You begged the question of what would have happened if maybe Oscar had connected one of those shots. Because Mikey, he's got 2. Oscar, if he gets 1 and stays alive, like... that would have been actually a really close round. But unfortunately for them, 9Pandas keep 3 alive, and, you know, not having really too much danger right there. Now, 6-7. Xiaofi, aggressive play, tries to get the run boost, fails, but is still going to go for it. Still fighting, and trades out his teammate. Morisco outside, solo. Tried to make the aggressive play, tries to be the talisman for Sinners, but instead it's just going to be continuously Oscar, who's so mobile around this map, getting openers left, right, center.
Well, at least he does get a nice little second kill there. That's going to keep Sinners firmly in the driving seat, at least for now. 9Pandas have had to massively hit the brakes on this one. Utility has faded from the outside, and now they have to find a way to safely cross. They know where that AWP was moments ago. They don't really want to face check that if they can help it. They do have some smokes to work with here, but Util is slowly dwindling. Doesn't look like they're going to go for that attempt down secret after all. And with the A side as reinforced as heavily as it is, I'm not too sure that the best decision here is going to be to go for that A hit. But they're still somewhat stuck on an island, biding out their time. Waiting for a little bit of information, waiting to see, you know, maybe Idis Balance can get a pivotal kill over towards this A site.
Okay. Oh,
Oh dear.
I was watching NACS last night, and it was atrocious, the amount of missed utility. And right there, Idis Balance shows, well, he doesn't really show a good cause for EUCS. This round, still alive. Idis Balance needs to get a move on and actually, I guess, have some assistance. He's stuck in ramp and now is left into the 1 versus 3 bomb. Planted for him. First shot out the air, second missed. And now it can be defused. 6-6 at the half. However, that definitely favors 9Pandas. And on their map pick, let's see if they can close us out 2-0 after the break.
Well, another very, very close half down to the wire, 6-6. So far, I believe it was 9Pandas who've won all the pistol rounds, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's a lie. I think it's been Sinners.
It was 1-for-1 on Inferno, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there you go. Well,
yeah.
We'll see if we can make it 2-for-2 here. An important pistol round here for Sinners, purely because it is their T side and they want to make it competitive. And well, opening things up there, that's going to make it that little bit easier.
Yeah, this would be for both the pistol rounds for Sinners. They won the first one T side really quite easily. It was that really convoluted vent drop. But right now, 9Pandas, they're trying to keep themselves alive. 2 versus 3. They're going to have to go for a retake, but they're going to try to deny the bomb before it can even get planted. Glowing, they're just going to run into him. It's a 1 versus 1. Shock planting for him. Has to come off it. Cowers around Tetris. Glowing has an idea. He's there! What a shot! And Glowing wins out 9Pandas. Their first pistol round here on Nuke.
Fantastic shot there from Glowing. Just beautiful snap, and that steals away that round. We said it was important. No bomb planted is devastating for the Sinners squad. Needed to get so much more done. Now the question becomes, how cheeky are they going to want to get with this round? And the answer, well, not terribly. 2 deagles. We'll see if they can make some magic happen here. It wouldn't be the first time, and hopefully it won't be the last. 9Pandas, they've gone full in on these MP9s. Want to try and farm up some of that cash really early on, and Clack's off to a good start with that first kill onto Shocks. Oh, and a nice follow-up from Ida's Balance as well. This is just not going Sinner's way. It was just an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean, it's the eco, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. Kind of, that's 100% how you'd anticipate the round to go. And for 9Pandas, just farming up some of the economy with the SMGs. Now we go on to the first gun round. 9Pandas, they could really just run away with this whole half if they just win this round out. Especially considering they're on 4 SMGs, 1 A1S. Sinners, they need to get this round on the board. And this nade early on outside, chunking down a lot of damage. The 1 A1S kind of playing around this outside position, but I really like this round actually from 9Pandas because they have both Ida's Balance and Glowing, utilizing the fact that they have very close range weaponry and getting into secret, and in the meantime you've got Dilladez and Clax going towards lobby. What? How does Glowing not get a frag there? But Ida's Balance is able to get a brace. 9Pandas, 3 versus 3. They've got all lobby control, but they need to be careful of Shock, who might come in as a late figure, and they could actually still wrap towards the A-bomb site where 9Pandas are not ready to hold.
The correction from B-Stick there was absolutely disgusting, but didn't expect the second player, so Ida's Balance gets way too much value out of that one. 3 versus 3 here now. This is more than doable for either side, realistically. But bomb is going to get planted. He's going to be on this A site here. Now, there is awareness that vents is where there's a bit of presence. Can 9Pandas make this pop effective? They've already made their way through. Shots through the smoke will get traded. This Clax will get his. And now, a bit of a reposition. An attempt at a pincer. A 2-prong push in towards the silos. Trying to get a little bit of damage done through the wall here. Not spotting how to play. Dilladez, good for his. Clax needs to follow it up. Does time? So, and allows, surely. Oh, they don't have a kit. I didn't even notice. It's so close.
Ooh,
oh, dear God.
Wow. I was actually looking at that, and I was like, they have like 4K each, give or take. No one had a kit. And I was like, why? Why are you doing that to yourself? But 9Pandas, they still win the round. And what I'm really impressed with is the fact that they're able to win that round after not being in a position to deal with that A execute.
That whole round was just quite nutty. I love that start. I love that aggressive play. The returns from Sinners were fantastic. But the fact that 9Pandas are able to retake that so well with all 3 players needing to push up from vents. Very impressive from them. Bit of a misplay from Sinners. And now 3-round lead. Sinners back down. Hero AK and some pistols to try to make that magic happen and bring themselves back into some sort of contention. 9Pandas just on the precipice of a 10th round here. Double digits. Sinners have so little to work with. This pop has to be big. No! Morisco caught outside with his pants down. The spray through the smoke is good.
This is a really easily dealt with round from 9Pandas, and what's been really impressive, and I guess something that we were missing maybe a little bit over on Inferno, was the consistency and the cleanness on these anti-force buy, anti-eco rounds, right? Like, do you remember how it was just like any eco, any force buy would get damage? Right now, yeah. 9Pandas are going flawless against everything like that, so you can see in their economy, it's glowing. But Sinners, like, they need to get this round. I think this is they're letting Nuke slip, they're letting the series slip a little bit. I think they had to win map 1, and I like this play. Morisco jumping in towards main, they're wrapping in, but they read it, they get the sound cues, and Clax is able to convert towards door. Dilladez, Prime, 4 players were towards the A-bomb site, and Sinners don't even get a look in.
This has been a great map for Clax just overall, right? Like on our first map, he was somewhat AFK, didn't really show up in a meaningful way. This time around, however, he's just been lights out. 23 and 9 at the moment, reminiscent of what we saw from Dilladez on our previous map. So, you know, sometimes the map really does make a difference, but he is activated in a fantastic way, being a huge key pivot point. Now, Sinners, all their hopes and dreams kind of slipping away here. Reminder that this is obviously the upper bracket, so they do have somewhat of a safety net in the lower brackets. It's not all doom and gloom, but
it's not
doesn't
all,
bode well.
but it's, yeah, like, it's so... I've noticed a bit of a general theme in the ESL Challenger League of, if you go to the lower bracket, God, do you have a long way to go. Like, that lower bracket is, in any scenario, is long. So, for instance, if whoever loses this will go to the lower semi-finals. Wait, what?
What?
Wait, sorry, what?
What?
Oh my God, he's gonna get the bomb. No, he doesn't get the bomb.
No,
now.
he's not. He tapped it.
Okay. Oh my God, sorry. I had it like on my monitor, unminimized, and then like I was looking at HTTP on the second one, and I kind of glanced over, and I was like, is that an enemy on his screen? But okay, continuing what I was saying of if 9Pandas, or so if Sinners lose this, let's say, they will then go to the lower bracket semi-finals, play against either the winner of Bait or Koi, Bait 1, Map 1, and then they have to win that series, then another one, and then another one, and then they go to the playoff lower bracket number 1, where they have to win 5 best of 3s in a row to make it to Pro League, and then another one if they want to win the grand final.
It is a long road. Yeah, it's a long road to Tipperary, as they say.
Ah,
Tipperary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up tip, up riding, up tip.
Sure, why not? Oh, come on, Glowing. Just sneaky in the corner there. Good for that one. Idas balance 2 of his own. Gets caught out in the jump spot.
That's brazen.
Oh, Beastick. I mean, there's still so much more here for him to do. I see the dream. There is a world in which this happens. He does have control of the bomb here. Oh, like ships in the night. If he breaks the glass, his position is entirely known. I think for now it's just kind of hang around. There's still a minute left in this round. So if he wants to pull...
Oh.
Nope, JK. I thought maybe he'd try and pull a shelfie and just kind of like chill for a little bit and then go on a bit of a mission. But nope, caught out before he even had the opportunity. That is a heartbreak round for Sinners, because now we are map and series point. And Sinners, it's a bit of a... It's not the worst buy. It's actually not the worst buy imaginable. I respect the Krieg. Nope, JK.
No.
It's back to the... Alright, fair enough. You know
has
what? I
been-
was here for it.
Yeah, I would have actually been there for as well. This has been a really just like one-sided performance for 9Pandas. Like I did allude to it that, you know, they are very favored on their C side, but this is like the gun rounds are going flawless, for instance. Like, you know, these are rounds that are just so one-sided. Shalfie, our player to watch, I'm not gonna lie, bro was dead. If bro got a single frag, I would have lost my mind. One frag would have done that, but no, it's actually silver. I was going to say silver linings for Sinners, but Dilladez just does Dilladez things. Well, it's still maintained into an advantage. Morisco kind of confused at where he's been shot from, and 9Pandas aren't actually in a great position to kind of deal with all of this. Clax though, 23 frags, finally. Goliath gets slain, and David is looking to find 7.
I'll be real, this felt like a 9Pandas kind of overconfidence round. Taking that aggressive outside position, instantly getting caught out. And then the rest of 9Pandas just... To be fair, it was also very unorthodox from Sinners. Deciding to wrap all the way around. It's not something that you see terribly commonly. And it does pay off for them. The element of surprise nets them finally a win here on their T side. The road is still very long. They're going to need so much more. 5 consecutive rounds just to take us to OT. And they can't do that same thing 5 rounds in a row. 9Pandas, if they had to allow that to happen, it would be absolutely egregious. So, Sinner's going to have to come up with something else out of the ordinary. Or just win your ones, lol.
just shoot back, lol.
Click on their heads, lol.
Yeah, forehead. But I think like I also respect the fact that Xiaofi goes aggressive again after that being the reason why probably the round was lost by 9Pandas. You know what? Don't lose your confidence just because you lost one round. Still maintain that. Outside smokes, there is a gap, I would say, in the middle of there somewhere. But players are still going to go down. Mistiming on the grenade. Xiaofi's reloaded as his vision kind of gets gifted. And he's still going to get a frag. Also, look at the HP. 22 combined 2 individuals. And, well, those are the 2 players that are down on the B bomb side with also the bomb on their back.
And they have no idea that Glowing is just waiting there. In fact, that smoke actually helped him so much. Sure, they plant in the smoke and they are able to get that plant, but his position remains completely unchecked for so long. And like ships in the night, these 2 players do not see each other at all. Somebody?
I think he overthought this, Sam. I think if he just spammed...
Yeah.
I think if he, like, obviously he doesn't know the HP, but if he had just spammed that, he could ninja. Oh, he's got no kits. Wow, they clear him. I mean, I'll say he overthought that. He doesn't realize it, but if he'd spammed, he wins the round, he wins the game. Game over. Yeah. Series over. He doesn't realize it, but that would have been the case.
I genuinely thought that was more or less what was going to happen. Even if it wasn't a case of spamming the smoke, I really thought that in his position, he'd be able to shut that down really, really quickly. And nope. And then you're waiting for like reinforcements to come through, but the rest of his team have just died off screen on the other side of the map. So there are no reinforcements. There's no backup. He even, like, he hears the door opening. He hears the bomb getting tapped, and it's just no sort of follow-up. No sort of response. And now money starts to become a bit of an issue. If Sinners win this round, we have a map on our hands.
Yeah, I think so. Shock, though, can't get down the vent. Miss smoke by the T side. And also these 2 players that are down are going to be greeted with the hungry orb of Ida Spallens. Maybe a little bit too greedy, though, as he tries to go for both of those frags before the rest of his teammates can come. And the issue is, look, now that the bomb is planted and no one is there to do anything about it. It's being defused. Mikey, good nade, good spot, but the spam not connecting. And 9Pandas, they continue through this medium seed group bracket. In the upper brackets, they go through into the upper final. One best of 3 away from making it to the playoffs. 2 opportunities to make it through to playoffs, and Sinners now have to make the lower bracket run.
Yeah, honestly, huge congratulations there to 9Pandas. We saw on paper, given, you know, the recency bias, they were looking good. They were looking, at the very least, slightly favored into this one. That first map, a little bit touch and go. It felt like Sinners might be able to snag away their own map pick. They brought it all the way up to 11 before a nice little resurgence from 9Pandas there. And unfortunately, even on Nuke, that first half, so incredibly close. But once we swapped sides, 9Pandas were very much in control from start to finish. They're looking clean, they're looking clinical, and they're looking to snag that spot in playoffs. And of course, we had our player to watch, Shelfie. And in the first map, he went pretty even, you know, not a bad performance by any measure. And similarly here on this map, not exactly the standout player, but he had his moments.
Yeah, like, I don't think he did badly, nor he did like amazing. I think, you know, he was playing outside on city side, and in the last few rounds, like, he was definitely getting very aggressive, making some pretty brazen plays. He also, I'm pretty sure in that last round, was able to catch Shock off as he was going down the vent, so was making it easier for someone like Ida Spallens to basically dominate with the AWP when he was already down on B. But realistically, like, he's the player to watch was not in the manner of like, oh, he's going to be top in the scoreboard. I was phrasing it in more of a this is a new IGL who has played under one of the best IGLs in the region in Jerry, picked up the IGL on 4s, gets brought onto 9Pandas for replacing like one of the players in Counter-Strike, replacing Seized, and he seemingly has upgraded 9Pandas in such a short period of time. And I think it'd be really awesome for them to make this really deep run to making it to Pro League. Like, that would be insane. Like, it's such a long way to go, but you never realistically want to count them out. And actually, both of those teams that we just saw were in the Pro League close qualifier, and Sinners actually almost made it through, but they lost to 3D Max in the finals.
Yeah, so close. And speaking of 3D Max, for those of you that are interested, that series has actually gone 1-1.
Oh,
and they're going to be starting their third map very, very shortly. And as for us, that's it. Us done and dusted here on the C stream. So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. There will be a lot more Challenger League action coming at you over the coming days and weeks. So make sure not to miss out on that one. And please do go check out our D stream, Zero Tenacity versus 3D Max. I had 3D Max taking that one potentially in a 2-0, but Zero Tenacity not living up to their name, proving their name wrong. They have all the tenacity. So go check it out. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you very soon.